Oh boy, is that a cool looking ship. It'd be a real shame if the nation I was going to employ didn't have a navy. Well, at least we have an admiral. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, today I will be playing as the great nation of Hungary, and we will be attempting to restore Austro-Hungary. I'm currently using the mod Improved Austro-Hungary. It's a decent mod. It doesn't add a whole lot. It's kind of a cool thing, and it adds a couple things that, well, you'll see later in the video. Alright, let's just get the beginning stuff out of the way. That involves research, which I think, as much as I would like to do production and construction and electronic engineering, I mean, we don't really have any industry. It's not really existent. So what I might actually do, because we get into some pretty early wars, we go ahead and research everything that we need. So that involves trucks, that involves some airplanes, and that also involves some tanks, because for some reason we don't start out with the ability to make any good tanks. In terms of military factories, we're probably just going to put a lot on guns and a little bit on support equipment, just for now, and we'll switch that up once we actually get, well, I mean, it would be nice to make some airplanes, but these are kind of garbage. I mean, I'll put one on airplanes for now, and that should be fine. Now for the national focus, I think what we're going to go ahead and grab is just go straight down the balanced budget and rush to invite the Habsburg prince, as well as grabbing a elusive gentleman, or at least not yet. I'd have to come over here and create an agency, which I have forgotten to do. Don't do me. Create this as early as possible. It is going to be very important for reasons I will explain later. Also, for some reason this mod lets me get off of Disarmed Nation pretty quick. Not quite sure if that's a bug or if that's supposed to be part of the mod, but that's what it does. I'm not gonna touch that just yet, so for now I'll just get a little bit of army XP. In terms of upgrades for my intelligence agency, I recommend probably Invisible Ink, Economy Civilian, definitely Commando training, and I might even have to grab a little bit of Anti-Partisan just because of the fact that I will have a lot of resistance. But we'll go ahead and start with the Invisible Ink. Now that we've recruited our first spy, we're just going to go ahead and take her and throw it straight into Berlin for reasons I will explain in a little bit. Once we hit 150 PP, we're going to go ahead and grab that elusive gentleman that I mentioned earlier, which will give us another agency slot. And now that we have our last spy, we're just going to go ahead and throw her into Hamburg and Kiel, which will give us pretty much full coverage of the entire German Empire, at which point I will wait until we hit 100% intel strength. We have now finished. Invite the Habsburg Prince. Otto assumes the Hungarian crown. In search of a suitable king, the Kingdom of Hungary extended an invitation to Otto von Habsburg to return to the lands that were until recently ruled by his family. Today, amidst much fanfare and celebration, he was crowned King of Hungary in a solemn ceremony at the Royal Palace in Budapest. Now we are going to be losing our poor admiral, and now we gain Otto von Habsburg. And after that is done, we will immediately be going to demand a referendum, which will demand Austria join us instead of Germany. Now that we've hit 150 PP yet again, I think I will go ahead and get off of Disarmed Nation. I don't know if it's supposed to be part of the mod, but it is, so I'm going to take advantage of it, because I need more manpower. My units are all very out of manpower, and that's not great. I even had to delete a few, and we're still out of manpower. Alright, the referendum has succeeded, which means that when we click this button, Austria becomes ours. Perfect. We do gain, I believe, all of their infantry, which is quite nice. Also, we're going to go ahead and change all of our divisions into this little template here that we get from Austria, the Infantry Division, and that will require a lot more manpower, but they are significantly better troops. That's very good. Also, now it is going to be time to restore Austro-Hungary, because we want cores on these as quick as possible. Austria votes to unite with Hungary. At the insistence of the Hungarians, Austria has carried out a referendum on a possible reunification of the two nations under the Habsburg crown. Our brotherly ties have not been forgotten. Well, this is highly unfortunate. Our agent was captured, which almost never happens, but I guess this time it did. I will have to launch a rescue mission. Unfortunately, usually this is not a problem. Yeah, but that's really unfortunate because we were almost at 100%. That's going to actually delay me by probably around a month. Now we have reached 100 army experience, but instead of grabbing a doctrine, I'm instead first going to grab a professional officer corps for that little bit extra army experience gain, as well as the Daily Commander, power gain. Now we have reached the restoration of Austro-Hungary. King Otto has assumed his rightful title as Emperor of Austria. He shall not yet rest until all of Habsburg's lands have been reunited, like a phoenix from the ashes. Now the next focus would be protect Czechoslovakia. However, this is where we get to the interesting part because they don't always say yes. In fact, they're very likely to say no right now. There's quite a few things we have to do to improve relations with them. The first one obviously being to improve relations. I'll do that a little later though. Even if you can get a spy in there, diplo pressure, and then get a non-aggression pact is even better. But another way is going down to reintegrate the railroads, which will increase our opinion of them, and they're more likely to accept. So go ahead and get down to that focus, and that finally lets me explain what I'm doing with my spies. Rescuing the other spy, but Judith is still here on quiet mode, keeping the intel network. But once that happens, I will be able to do a infiltrate civilian administration. Once I do that once, I'll have 100% intel strength. I will actually be able to tell what focus Germany is doing. And once I see that they're going to do demand sedate land, I want to have at least a 10-day bonus stored up in my focus, so I can instantly click that. And then it's also more likely to make Czechoslovakia accept my little proposal. I also have a bunch of decisions here from the mod. I can move capital to Vienna. I mean, usually I do this anyways. It doesn't really do a whole lot, but I will move it there. And then I always have the option to move it back to Budapest, but I don't really care at the moment. And we also get these decisions down here where we can invite the Ottoman Sultan in exile, reach out to German royalty, and invite the Kaiser in exile. I believe the Ottoman Sultanate almost always accepts, so I'll just do that right now. And if I click play, eventually they will... Oh, okay, they rejected us. In that case, we will invite the German royalty, which actually skips the option for the Kaiser. Normally, we can start a civil war in both the German Reich and Turkey. However, Turkey denied us for one, so we actually might have not have an Ottoman Empire, though. Honestly, that doesn't really matter. They kind of suck anyways. For now, however, I'm just going to go ahead and... put this away because I need to save my political power to get to partial mob, some more conscription, and then probably a chief of air force just for a bit of air experience, since I'm going to be making a lot of airplanes. Also, I forgot to mention, with my army experience, I like to always take political loyalty, because we're at 86 stability right now, but if you click this, I think it's always like a 7% increase. Yep, that's a lot of stability, that's more political power, that's less consumer goods, more factory output. It's just really, really good. Alright, we got our spies back, and I've also moved Judith to a spot where I actually liked her to be. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is infiltrate the civilian government with Georgia and Dorothy, though obviously your spies will probably be named something different. Go ahead and select those, commence with ready. Now they're in preparation, they already have all the stuff they need. Once they're all in the mission, at that point we will then put them in quiet intel network, and that will keep all the intel and very low chance of capturing the agent. Now that we have 150 PP again, just gonna go ahead and grab limited conscription. I know technically I'm not supposed to be able to go down here, but well, I mean the mod lets me do this, so why not? Alright, our spies have finished their mission, which means now if I go ahead and click on Germany, we can see what they are doing. Now they don't have the option to do demand sedate yet, they don't have enough manpower and divisions, so we don't quite have to worry about that yet, and we are about to reintegrate the railroads, but after this, we want to wait 70 days without ever picking a focus until they pick their next focus, and it's not the demand sedate and then we can always be 10 days ahead of them. And with our spies, we're going to go ahead and put diplo pressure into Czechoslovakia and then start improving relations because we want to get a non-aggression pact with them because that will improve our relations significantly. Now that we've reached 150 PP again, I do recommend taking the silent workhorse because we will be needing a lot of political power for the revolt of German nobility, which we will get into later. Now while we wait for Germany to do the demand sedate, I can kind of explain my strategy. So speed is the key. We did all of this as fast as possible without detouring into anything else. Speed is what we're going to be doing with our tanks. So we'll be going down mobile warfare. We'll be making some super fast, nice light tanks. And this is all very, very good because when we get Czechoslovakia, we'll actually take some of their light tanks. Also now we have enough political power to go to partial mobilization, so I will because why not? So now it's been long enough that with the spy we were able to go ahead and grab a non-aggression pact, and then we'll improve relations right before Germany does demand sedate, but for now they still don't even have the manpower, so we don't have to worry about it. going to go ahead and grab the war industrialists, since now we are just going to be mass producing a bunch of military factories just all over the country. Now when I come over here to Germany, I see they're about to finish their focus, and if I click on it, I can see that they can do demands to Dateland, which they will almost always do immediately. So I'll wait until right before they do it, which is so they know national focus set, play the game, and they're not actually going to do it yet. Okay, interesting. So Germany is once again almost done with their focus, and they can do demands to Dateland, which they are now going to do. Now they have how many days left? They have 69 days, nice, left to do that, and we have full 10 days saved up. So if we go ahead and grab protect Czechoslovakia, also if there's 20% world tension, they're more likely to join us. So there is also a possibility that now we have our non-aggression pact, we can improve relations. And then if we really wanted to, we could also go ahead and justify it on Yugoslavia if we really wanted to jack up that world tension. But I will wait just before my focus goes off in case for some reason something happens that brings up the world tension. Alright, well as you can see, we are about to complete protect Czechoslovakia, and no one has raised the world tension, or their opinion of us is very high. We're going to go ahead, we're going to justify war goal really quick just to get that over 20%, which should... Never mind, it doesn't. I thought justifying does do that, but apparently it does not. Should not matter though, we have everything we need. They should join us still. They return to the crown. Now we will not click this immediately because that would mean that we would have to go to war with Germany. We're going to go ahead, we're going to keep this up. We're going to wait for them to get pretty close to finishing the demands to Dateland until about 1 day. Want to be careful, 3 times speed, and then we wait until 2400. Now they have completed it, but they have not yet sent Czechoslovakia another thing because their national focus is still not set. We're going to click this. Czechoslovakia is now gone. And because of that, Czechoslovakia got the event, but Czechoslovakia doesn't exist anymore, so we basically avoid war with Germany, which is awesome. And that's why we had all those spies. Now we got a bunch of options from this. We got to expand the Czech Officer Corps, which just gives us a couple more generals, which I believe are pretty good. And eventually at some point we can start spreading monarchist sympathies, which probably would be a good idea to start this pretty soon, since it takes a long time to actually get any monarchy sympathy in Germany. Now that we are pretty much just going to have to write around, we can go through the revolt of German nobility decisions. Now what you want to do is not invite the Kingdom of Prussia, because obviously 0% chance is not great. So we want to find the one that has the most chance of success, which I think is the King of Bavaria. Just go ahead and they will accept. And then as you get more political power, just go ahead and click whatever one has the most acceptance chance, which will probably be the Duke of Mecklen-Strelitz. Yeah, just wait around, continue to do that, and the more that accept, the more that the others will want to accept. Now that we have grabbed the last research we need for our new tank, we're going to go over here and build it. So what I usually like to do is pick everything that's great but doesn't take away speed, and then this may only be 0.1 kilometer an hour. However, I'm still going to go 2-man turret, improve small cannon, which unfortunately does take away 0.1% kilometer. So maybe I will just go 3-man turret. I think there's not a lot of point in not doing that. Go ahead and grab the radio. Go ahead and grab wet ammo storage and sloped armor, which normally I wouldn't put on a light tank. However, we are going to go ahead and max this out, so the armor is going to be pretty impressive. And without this, it would go down to 42, so that's almost 10 increase, which is pretty good. Go ahead and Christie suspension. Grab a probably riveted armor just to keep it nice and cheap, and then gasoline engine. And that should be a pretty good tank. Not a lot else I can do. I mean, reliability is pretty good. Everything's pretty good, actually. So can I actually go further? I can go further. I didn't even realize I can go further. 2%, even better armor. And speed is only 8.6 kilometers, but that will get better with time. So we're going to go ahead and say that. And we're going to start producing those. And then we're also going to go over here, grab mobile warfare. Then come over here and grab modernization drive. Click that. And now... while we will lose a little bit of army experience per day, that's going to save us a lot of army experience in the long run, because we can come over here, and then every time we add a motorized or a tank, it's all free, which is just perfect. So I'm thinking a pretty good setup is going to be something along the lines of this. Oh, we also want a little bit of artillery, which unfortunately we can't quite do yet, so I might have to come back to this, but I do like to have something kind of like this usually, a 20 width, a couple artillery, pretty decent soft attack, and then I'll also throw on maybe a motorized recon company for a bit more soft attack. For the sake of actually producing some of these, I got rid of the motorized recon and the support anti-air just so I can actually make some of these before the war starts. And also we are doing Acclaim Transylvania, which is why I've been rushing. We're just going to demand Kingdom Romania for Transylvania, but we are also doing a little bit of justification against Yugoslavia, so even if they say no, I can still go ahead and claim all of it. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make a couple of these Zoomy boys, as I've called them. Alright, they refuse, so we click on this one, don't click on the top one, we definitely click on the bottom one. We click play, and we approach France since they are the ones guaranteeing Romania right now. So let's see what they say. Mediation has failed. I think we need to be betrayed by everybody. We're already justifying on Yugoslavia, so it doesn't really matter. However, Romania should lose the guarantee, or not that it really matters, because we're going to go to war with Yugoslavia, so Romania joins. I'm not attacking them, so then France won't join. That's perfect. Now that I've completed everything that I need for my airplanes, when I come over here and finally design the first airplane, which is going to be consisting of some heavy machine guns, as well as an engine of 2, as well as some drop tanks and self-sealing. Oh, that's not enough. In that case, we might have to reduce this to... If I reduce this to 2 heavy? Yes, 2 heavy works. I can also reduce it to, I believe, 4 lights. Okay, which one's better? Attack 10, weight 2. Okay, so this is better. Upgrade latest traits. Save. And that is my basic small aircraft. We'll get a little bit of a different symbol. And then let's see if we have enough for a CAS. If we don't, that's fine. Let's just go ahead. CAS, small bomb bay. Double engine with the drop tank and self-sealing. Oh, we have just perfectly enough. Okay, something interesting happened. I'm not quite sure what's happening here, but I'm about to go to war with Yugoslavia, 2 days away from my justification, but then Germany has recognized the validity of our claim and Northern Transylvania has been returned to Hungary. Not quite sure what's happening here. Are you in a faction? No. Germany just gave me Northern Transylvania for some reason. Okay. Probably gonna pull back, keep the airport, and then just besides that, stay behind the river. That should be more than good enough supply, hopefully. Now we have our justification of Yugoslavia, so we're gonna let them walk into this territory. Alright, we have about 1 day until the war goal expires, so I'm just gonna go ahead and declare war, and this should be totally fine. Romania will join the war. I'm going to go for the supply hub over here. Our tank should be winning this pretty heavily. Perfect. We immediately get into the tile. And we're going to go for the supply hub. Easy. That's the supply hub taken. And we're going to just do this systematically until all of Yugoslavia is dead and then bum rush into Romania. And that should be... hopefully, there we go. Good enough for Yugoslavia to die. Now for Romania. Now for the tanks, they should break into Constanta, and that is it. Romania is mine. Now I could just go, hey, I want just Transylvania, which is just that. We will have cores in Transylvania. But for now, we'll just take it all. Alright, well we've gotten to a point where apparently Bulgaria is willing to create a faction with me. That's quite nice. I also had Italy sign a non-aggression pact with me because I know for a fact eventually they're going to request Dalmatia, and I'm not going to give that to them. Paris just fell, which means France is probably going to capitulate in a second since they... Yep, there they go. That is the end of France. Unfortunate. Now we just have to wait for the Germans to go to war with the Soviets, which should be pretty soon. And once they do that, then we'll use that as a distraction to go to war with the Germans. Though actually we need to go to war with the Italians now, so maybe signing a non-aggression pact with them was probably not the greatest idea in the world. But we need way more men, way more equipment, we just need way more of everything. I'm gonna start producing way more of everything. Funnily enough, just doing a little bit of improving relations, I can actually invite Greece to my faction, which still probably will put me at war with Italy. I'm also still doing these things down here, so we're pretty close to getting all of them. Oh, also there's the fact that Germany is now at war with the Soviets, so this is just right around the time where I want to declare war on them, while they are all, well, at war with the Soviets. We can always ignite a civil war just right now. I don't know if we have enough troops, but they definitely don't. What we can do is if we ignite the civil war, Germany will fall apart, and currently they're going to war with the Soviets, so they already have a front that they have to deal with. So if we click this, in 30 days that's going to go off. Alright, the civil war should be starting any day now. It should be starting. There it is. And I think that also puts me at war with the Germans. Yes, it does. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to push. And then we have all these different states. We have the Kingdom of Saxony. We have, what are you? Bavaria? Yeah, Bavaria. We have Württemberg. We have the Rhineland Confederation. We have Kingdom of Hanover. Prussia, which is probably going to get domed pretty quick. And we do have Germany split apart. Unfortunately, Prussia capitulates, which is very much not cool. Are we still winning down here? No, we're getting kind of pushed, and they're pushing down here too. I did kind of screw myself a little bit here. It's not looking very good, I will admit. It's not looking very good. I need to do some big maneuvers. Probably by encircling a bunch of these guys. Perfect. Is this a supply hub? Yes, it is. Push into that, please. Now they're pushing power into capital. Should be gone. Now I see a little bit of encirclement opportunity. I do believe in this. We made a bit of a mistake by ignoring the southern front, but we can definitely bring this back. Now we've kind of stabilized our own front. There we go. Kingdom of Saxony is dead. We are going to slowly start losing. However, now that we've gained a bunch of this territory back, we should be fine. Alright, well, it was looking dire, and it honestly still is. However, we have managed to somewhat stabilize the front, and also we've taken enough of Italy that we can actually reintegrate the empire and gain a ton of cores, which is great because we're nearly running out of manpower. So I should be able to click this button and then immediately gain 400,000 men. Oh my goodness. I've also had to use my tanks as the defense in Italy and sent all my infantry to actually hold my own country because it's looking kind of desperate. So hopefully they can hold that. Meanwhile, I'm going to go cap Italy pretty quick. There's not a lot they can do about it. Greece has navally invaded Italy. Greece, you are so helpful actually. That is awesome. Benito Mussolini is deposed. Perfect. These guys are so fast. How fast? Okay, well that guy's only going 4 kilometers. This one's going 9, nearly 10 kilometers though. That's pretty nice. So Italy is now officially out of the count, which leaves only the Germans. I think now we just need to use our tanks to do a bunch of encirclements, and I see a potential over here. Are we running out of equipment? So yes, we're 20k guns in the hull. I think now we just wait for a bit of planning bonus. Everyone is mostly... Oh, that's entrenching. Planning bonus is all mostly done. Okay, I think now we just push. And this should be the end of the Germans. They have nothing left in the tank. They're down under 200 divs, probably to 100 if I had to guess. As the Germans are gone. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I control like all of Italy, all of the Balkans except for Albania, pretty much all of Germany. That's all, folks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video of Hearts of Iron 4. Adios.